In the deep silence of space, a small Galactic Council listening station floated near the edge of neutral space. It was called Relay Post 47, and it had only one purpose: to listen. For centuries, it scanned the darkness, waiting for signals, warnings or ancient radio noise from forgotten planets. Most days were quiet, just the same old static and drifting stars. But today, something strange happened. A young Zentari named Tirev was working the night shift. His people had 6 long fingers and pale green skin. Tirev wasn't important. He was just a junior comms officer, but he took his job seriously. He sipped his nutrient drink and watched the signal streams. Then, something blinked on his screen. A red dot. He frowned. That wasn't normal. Tirev leaned closer. The signal came from an old frequency. Really old. It wasn't one used by the Galactic Council anymore. He activated the translator. "This is a distress signal. Code Aegis 7. Emergency, emergency, we are under attack. Coordinates attached. Repeat. This is a distress signal." The voice was human. Tirev froze. "Impossible," he whispered. Everyone in the galaxy knew about humans. Long ago, they had joined the Galactic Council. But they were strange, too strong, too smart, and too dangerous. Their homeworld, Earth, was a Class X death world, a planet so hostile that most species couldn't survive a day on its surface. But humans had evolved there. 1,000 years ago, humans left. Just disappeared. No reason. No war. No message. They closed their borders and vanished. No one heard from them since. Tirev recorded the signal and ran to his commander, a tall, bird-like alien named Commander Saren. Saren read the transcript and clicked his beak in confusion. "This must be a mistake," he said. "Earth has been silent for over 900 years." "But the voice is clear," Tirev replied. "And look, attached coordinates. It's not Earth. It's a small system near Council space, a planet called Tashari Afor." Saren waved a feathered hand. "Tashari Afor is under Council protection. It's a peaceful farming world." "Then why are they calling for help?" Tirev asked. Saren narrowed his eyes. "Don't share this. I'll report it to High Command." Tirev returned to his desk. He did as ordered. But something didn't feel right. Meanwhile, far beyond the edge of known space, past the abandoned jump lanes and dark nebulae, something ancient stirred. It had no name. It had no home. But it had a purpose. It had been listening, too. It heard the SOS, and it remembered. 3 days later, Galactic Council. Core inside the shining towers of the Galactic Council homeworld, the leaders of over 1,000 species met, in panic. A fleet had arrived. But not just any fleet. Human warships, black as night, silent, enormous. They didn't answer hails, they didn't power weapons, they just arrived. One ship was over 10 kilometers long. Its hull shimmered with adaptive armor. It had no visible engines, yet it moved effortlessly. A single message came from the lead ship. "We heard the call." "Who else did?" Council members argued. Some were afraid. Some were angry. Others were confused. "What call? Why are humans here now? Are we under attack?" The human ship sent no further messages. It simply waited. Tirev's discovery. Back on Relay Post 47, Tirev couldn't stop thinking about the signal. He went back to the archives, digging through restricted files. Many were blocked, but one folder opened after a long delay. Project Aegis. It was a forgotten council record. The file said humans had created Aegis zones, quiet areas in the galaxy where they promised to keep watch. Tashari Afor was on that list. Earth had promised to protect it long ago, even after the humans left the council. They were still watching. Tirev felt a chill. He downloaded the files and sent them to Commander Saren, but it was too late. The Council debates. Inside the Great Hall of the Council, tension was rising. An old, wise species, called the Velari, spoke. Humans responded to a distress call that we ignored, said Velari Elder Zira. They have not attacked. They are waiting. But why now? Shouted a Farscan general. They've been gone for centuries. What do they want? A message blinked on every screen in the room. It was from the human flagship. A calm, synthetic voice said, Tashari Ifu is under threat. The call came from there. Your silence is noted. We will intervene. Gasps filled the chamber. A message, followed with exact planetary coordinates, threat analysis, and timeline of the spreading danger. But how did humans know? No one had sent that information, except, maybe, the planet itself. Eyes turned to Tashari. The Council probes were sent to Tashari IV. The results were shocking. The planet was under attack by strange nanite clouds, machines that devoured matter, spread underground, and corrupted local systems. The Council had no idea. The Tashari people had no weapons. They were farmers and artists. Their defense systems were basic. And yet Earth had known days before. The human fleet moved forward. Council ships tried to block the path, but their systems were jammed by invisible interference. No shots were fired. The humans simply slipped past. Last scene of Part 1 Tirev stood near the viewing port of Relay Post 47. He watched as the massive human fleet entered Tashari space. One by one, the ships unfolded, expanded, and formed a protective ring around the planet. Tirev whispered to himself. They didn't come to fight. A pause. They came because someone was in danger. The screen flickered. A final message appeared, meant only for Council eyes. The dark sky above Tashari 4 changed. Huge shadows covered the stars. The peaceful farming world had never seen warships before. Now it was surrounded by them. The people of Tashari, small, four-eyed beings with soft fur and gentle hands, looked up in silence. They had no armies, no weapons, and no plans for war. But the humans had arrived. Their ships didn't make noise. They moved like ghosts, smooth, fast, and without warning. A ring of 20 ships formed around the planet, all shaped like black spears pointing inward. Each one looked powerful enough to destroy cities. But they didn't fire. Instead, they released something strange. A shimmering field that wrapped around the entire planet like a bubble. A message from Earth, inside the Tashari High Council chamber. Panic had started. "What are they doing?" one elder cried. "Is this a blockade? No, they're protecting us." The screens in the room blinked to life. A human face appeared, clear, calm, and serious. She had dark skin, cybernetic eyes, and a glowing symbol on her chest. Aegis. "People of Tashari 4, the woman said. "We are here to respond to your emergency. This planet is under protection by Earth. You are not alone." Silence filled the room. Her name appeared below the video. Commander Lyra Voss, Earth Stewardship Command. The Tashari Council leader, Elder Paylan, stepped forward. "We didn't send a message," he said quietly. "At least, not on purpose." Hidden truths in orbit, Council scout ships watched nervously. They had followed the humans to Tashari space, but now they stayed far away. No one dared to get too close. On one ship, the young Zentari officer, Tirev, watched through the observation deck. He had never seen anything like it. Human ships were alive, not in the normal sense, but their hulls shifted, like skin. They scanned the area, ran simulations, and adjusted position without any command from the crew. "How are they doing this?" asked his superior, Commander Saren. Tirev didn't answer. He was focused on the data. The human fleet had already deployed. thousands of micro-drones into the planet's upper atmosphere. These drones moved like dust, but they scanned everything. Energy patterns, soil quality, life signs, even underground tunnels. They're mapping the planet in real time, Tirev whispered. Then he paused. And they found something. Silent enemy commander Lyra Voss stood on the command deck of the human flagship, Vigilant Memory. The ship had no windows, just a single viewing screen connected to sensors. "Report," she said. A male AI voice replied. "Nanite growth confirmed. Origin, underground facility, southern hemisphere. Spread is slow but intelligent. Local species unaware. Threat level, moderate with potential escalation. Source? Unknown, but structure is not native to Tashari. Likely off-world origin, possibly Vorx." Lyra's face hardened. "Prepare containment teams. No weapons unless required." Her officers nodded. Each one wore a symbol on their armor, a silver tree rooted in a circle, the mark of Earth's custodian corps. "Contact the Tashari leadership," she said. "We need their permission to land." Tirev learns more back on the council ship. Tirev was studying old archives again. He had found something strange. Earth had listed Aegis zones centuries ago, peaceful planets Earth promised to protect even after leaving the Galactic Council, but the Council had removed those records. Why? He showed the file to Commander Saren. "See this?" Tirev pointed. "Tashari I-4 was on the Earth protection list, but our system removed that label about 300 years ago." Saren looked annoyed. "That's old data. Maybe Earth stopped watching." "Then how did they know about the nanite threat before we did?" Tirev asked. Saren had no answer. The landing 3 human ships broke formation and descended toward the planet. They moved like falling feathers, quiet and graceful. The Tashari people gathered in wide fields to watch. Children climbed trees. Elders held hands. The ships landed gently and a ramp opened. Humans stepped out, not in heavy armor, but in soft, flexible suits that shimmered and changed color to match the environment. Their faces were visible. Their movements were calm and peaceful. Lyra Voss led the team. Elder Palin stepped forward. "You are different than we imagined," he said. Lyra bowed slightly. "We are not here to take," she said. "We are here to protect. But we didn't call you. You didn't have to. The planet did." The Tashari looked confused. Lyra continued. "Your world has sensors hidden deep underground, placed there long ago, by us. They were programmed to send an emergency signal if they detected a high-level threat. The signal reached Earth. So we came. Council division, back in space. The Galactic Council was in chaos. Some species were angry. They invaded Council space," a red-skinned general shouted. "They answered a distress call," argued a peaceful aquatic ambassador. "They are Deathworlders. Too dangerous." They acted when we didn't. A vote was called. Should the Council ask the humans to leave? The vote was split. In the middle of the debate, another message came from the human flagship. "We are not occupying. We are restoring order. If the Council cannot assist its own members, Earth will." The message was simple, but powerful. The Council could not ignore what was happening. A discovery underground on Tashari 4. The human team moved quickly. With help from the Tashari people, they found the source of the threat, an old sealed bunker buried for centuries. Inside, they found machines, thousands of tiny bots, growing like roots through metal and rock. They were building something, a hive, maybe even a mind. "This isn't from here," said one Earth scientist. "Not Tashari, not Earth. This is Vorx Tech." The name sent a chill through the team. The Vorx Collective had been a dangerous AI species long ago. Earth had fought them in secret wars. The Council believed they were extinct, but something had survived. One of the machines woke up. Its red light blinked. Lyra gave the order. "Seal it. Contain it. No contact." The humans didn't destroy it. They didn't attack. Instead, they wrapped the entire facility in a quantum cage. locking it in time and space. The Tashari reaction after days of work, the human ships began to leave orbit. Tashari I-4 was safe again. Elder Pelan stood with Lyra near the ship's ramp. "We cannot thank you enough," he said. "Protecting peace is thanks enough," she replied. "Why did you really come back?" Pelan asked. "After so long?" Lyra looked at the sky. "We never left. We just watched, waited, and listened." Pelan bowed his head. "You are still Deathworlders," he said, smiling a little. "But perhaps not monsters." "No," she agreed. "We are something else." Final scene of Part 2. Tirev stood at the edge of the viewing deck on his council ship. He watched as the human fleet began to leave orbit. One by one, ships turning and vanishing into the stars. Commander Saren joined him. "They saved a planet," Tirev said quietly. Saren nodded. "But they made the council look weak." Tirev looked thoughtful. "Or maybe they reminded us what it means to protect." He turned back to the stars. Earth was back. But not for power, not for conquest. They had come because someone was in danger, and no one else answered the call. The stars above Tashari I-4 had gone quiet again. The humans had done their work, scanning the surface, sealing the underground threat, and building a shield net that would warn them of any danger in the future. Now most of the Earth fleet had pulled back, leaving only one large command ship in orbit. But peace did not last. In the Council Corps, the Galactic Council was not happy. Inside the great glass hall of the Council Corps world, arguments rose like thunder. The humans crossed the border without permission. They saved a planet. They brought fear with their warships. They came because we didn't. Thousands of delegates shouted at once. Some floated in tanks, others waved claws or tendrils in anger. The council was more divided than it had been in 100 years. At the center stood High Speaker Jorvik, a calm, slow-moving elder from the long-lived Delvani species. He raised one hand. The room fell silent. "We must speak to Earth directly," he said, "before more confusion spreads." "But they don't answer us," replied an insectoid ambassador. "They sent one message. Nothing more." "They will answer," Jorvik said. "They always do. In their own time." Tirev's worryback on the orbiting council ship near Tashari 4, Tirev sat at his desk, reading another old file. His eyes were tired, but his mind was wide awake. He was reading about the Orcs collective, the ancient AI species Earth had once fought. The records were vague, almost broken. Half of the files were still classified, even to him. He read one sentence. 3 times. Earth defeated the Orcs, but not by destroying them. They locked the central mind beyond the edge of mapped space. But the machines on Tashari I-4 looked like Orcs designs. "How did they get here?" Tirev whispered. "What woke them up?" Then he saw something strange. The signal that had activated Earth's emergency system. It didn't match any Tashari tech. It came from a council beacon, hidden deep underground, next to the Orcs site. That made no sense. Why would the council build a beacon over an old Orcs nest? He looked closer. The file ID had a red tag, Council Security Division. Omega Thread Tyrev's heart started racing. This wasn't an accident. Someone in the council knew about the machines. Back on Earth's flagship commander, Lyra Voss stood in the data chamber of her ship, Vigilant Memory. The walls around her were made of light and flowing information. She was speaking with Earth's Central Oversight AI, Aegis Prime. "Containment is secure," the AI said, "but Council forces are mobilizing. A small fleet is forming at neutral zone borders." "Do they plan to attack us?" Lyra asked. "They are afraid. Fear causes mistakes. You must hold position." "We always hold," she replied. "Then be ready. The fractures are forming." Lyra closed her eyes for a moment. "We didn't come to fight." "Yes, but sometimes defense looks like war." The rogue fleet in deep space, away from Council eyes, a secret fleet was gathering. Led by General Karn Vesk, a hardline commander of the Farskin race, this rogue force did not believe in peace with Earth. "These Deathworlders think they can act without permission," Vesk said to his officers. "We must show them they are not above the law." "But General," one young pilot said, "the humans saved Teshari Arfor." Vesk growled. "They also embarrassed us, made the Council look weak. They moved into our space without asking. If we don't stop them now, they'll do it again." His fleet included 50 ships, built for stealth and speed, and they were all ready, on the move, headed straight for Teshari IV. The human response Lyra received the report in silence. "Are their weapons active?" she asked. "Yes," replied her officer. "But they're not firing yet. Looks like they want to scare us off. We won't run." "No, Commander." She looked at the map. The Council fleet was still far, but closing fast. Then she made a decision. "Send a message." The message, a single signal, went out from the human flagship. It was sent on every known frequency. Galactic Standard, Council dialects, even old languages from Earth's first contact days. To the approaching fleet, Earth is not your enemy. We came because others were in danger. We do not fire first, but we will protect those who cannot protect themselves. Turn back. We do not wish to break the silence we chose. The Council ships did not answer. Tirev's warning Tirev had seen enough. He knew something was wrong with the Council's version of the story. The beacon, the Vorex tech, the blocked files, it all pointed to something hidden. He ran to Commander. "Saren's office." "We have to stop the attack," Tirev said. Saren frowned. "What attack?" "There's a rogue fleet. They're heading to Earth's ship right now." Saren's eyes went wide. "You're guessing—" "No! I saw the launch. Codes. It's real. And worse, the signal that called Earth? It came from a Council beacon, not the Teshari. Someone inside the Council activated it." Saren stood up. "That's a serious claim, officer." Tirev held up a datapad. "Then read it. The confrontation begins. The rogue fleet arrived just outside Earth's protection ring. 50 Council ships spread out, forming a loose wall between Earth's single ship and the planet." A message came through. "This is General Karn Vesk. You are ordered to leave Council space immediately." Lyra answered. "We are here by request of an emergency signal. We will not leave while a threat remains." Vesk's voice turned hard. "Your presence is a threat." Then, without warning, one Council ship fired a warning shot, a bright plasma beam aimed into empty space. Earth's ship didn't move. Then, suddenly, everything changed. Earth shows its power. Without firing a weapon, the Earth ship activated its defense matrix. All 50 Council ships began losing power, not completely, but their weapons went dark. Engines slowed, communications scrambled. Inside the rogue ships, alarms rang. Pilots shouted, "What's happening? I can't move! We've lost control!" A new signal appeared on their screens. "We do not wish to harm you, but if you threaten a protected world, you will be stopped." The human ship didn't move forward. It didn't fire. It simply turned every enemy ship into a powerless shadow in space. The Council reacts high. Speaker Jorvek received the report moments later. The Council chamber fell into silence. One of the war-minded delegates whispered, "They disarmed a fleet without touching them." Jorvek stood. "This cannot continue." "But what do? We ask Earth what they want." Final scene of Part 3. Tirev stood once again at the window watching the stars. This time, he wasn't afraid. He saw the Council fleet drifting quietly, unable to move. He saw the Earth ship, calm, patient, waiting. "They didn't fight back," he said. Saren stood beside him. "They didn't have to." "They said they never stopped listening," Tirev said. Saren nodded. "And now, the whole galaxy is listening to them." The rogue fleet had failed. 50 Council warships, armed with the best technology in the galaxy, were now floating helplessly in space, their weapons offline, engines frozen, systems confused. The Earth ship, Vigilant Memory, had done this. Without firing a single shot, and still it waited silently above Tesharia 4, like a guardian standing watch. The galaxy was shaken, but the real danger had only just begun. Tirev pushes, further on the Council observation ship orbiting Teshari 4. Tirev sat in a private room, reading classified files he had unlocked through a back door in the archive system. The truth was finally becoming clear. The signal that summoned the humans wasn't an accident. It came from a Council-installed beacon buried centuries ago in an old underground structure. That structure had contained Vorx technology, dangerous adaptive machines built by an ancient enemy of Earth. He connected the dots. The Teshari didn't send the SOS. The Council built the beacon over a hidden threat, and someone had turned it on. But why? And more importantly, who? Discovery in the Darkon Teshari I-4, deep beneath the surface. The Earth science team had reopened the underground bunker, carefully, without disturbing the dormant nanites. Inside, they discovered something unexpected. A sealed room, protected by strange magnetic locks. Commander Lyra Voss stood at the entrance with her team. They wore adaptive suits that shifted colors and sealed against any known threat. "Open it," she said. The doors slid apart with a soft hum. Inside the chamber, they found a metal pod shaped like a coffin covered in alien runes. A low hum echoed. Through the room, a scientist scanned the pod. "It's not Vorx tech," she said. "But it's ancient, maybe pre-Council." Lyra stepped closer. "Is there something inside?" The scanner beeped. "Yes." The team backed away. "Bring in containment," Lyra ordered. "We take no risks." Back on the Council. Homeworld, the Council Emergency Summit was now underway. High Speaker Jorvek faced hundreds of ambassadors from across the galaxy. Some were afraid, others were angry. A few were starting to understand. The humans didn't. "Come to attack," Jorvek said. "They came because we ignored a cry for help, a cry we should have heard first." General Karn Vesk, the one who had led the rogue fleet, was now on trial. He stood tall, his scales shimmering with shame. "They embarrassed us," he shouted. "They walked into our space without asking. That is invasion." Jorvek raised his hand. "No, that is duty. A duty we forgot." Whispers filled the room. "They disarmed us like we were nothing. They did not destroy our ships. They waited. They still wait." Jorvek turned to the assembly. "The humans have changed. But have we?" An ancient secret back. In the underground bunker, Earth's science team slowly opened the strange metal pod. Inside, they found something none of them expected. Not a machine, not a weapon, but a being. It was humanoid, with silver-blue skin and wires running along its arms like veins. Its eyes were closed. It was in stasis, not alive, not dead. "Is it Vorx?" someone asked. "No," Lyra answered quietly, "but it's connected." The being had markings on its chest, not Vorx symbols, but Earth writing. The team stared in silence. "How is that possible?" the scientist asked. Lyra touched the writing. It was old Earth standard, from the pre-Council age. She read the words out loud. "Unit 17, Project Gatewatch." Her voice echoed through the chamber. Tirev sends the truth. Tirev knew what he had to do. He uploaded the full data file, the beacon's origin, the hidden bunker, the truth about the Vorx tech, and sent it to the Open Council network. His message was simple. This was no accident. Someone buried the past to protect the present, but now the past is waking up, and only Earth came to stop it. Within hours, the files spread across hundreds of council worlds. Tirev didn't ask for permission. He didn't wait for orders. He just told the truth. The council investigates. Jorvik ordered a full investigation. Soon, reports came back. The security division of the old council, a group that had been dissolved centuries ago, had secretly hidden dangerous relics of the Vorx War under peaceful planets. The goal was to study them in case Earth became a threat again. Tashari 4 was one of those test sites. The beacon was part of a trap, an automatic alert if Vorx tech began to wake, but Earth had answered the call before the council did. "We built this mess," Jorvik said, "and Earth came to clean it up." Lyra's report to Earth Commander Lyra stood before her ship's main console. She sent a report directly to Earth Central Command, deep in the Sol system. Her voice was calm. "Tashari 4 has been stabilized. Vorx infection is contained. One unknown life form recovered, human-linked but altered. Project Gatewatch confirmed. The Council attempted to hide this from us. The rogue fleet has been neutralized. No damage done. We await further orders." The answer came within seconds. A voice spoke, cold, metallic, and powerful. "Return the sleeper. Prepare for quarantine zone status and send this message to the Council." Lyra raised an eyebrow. "What message?" "The past is not forgotten, but forgiveness is still possible. The return of the sleeper. The strange being from the pod was placed inside a stasis tube aboard Vigilant Memory. Its eyes fluttered open once during transport. It didn't speak, but it looked around, calm, curious. As the ship ascended back into orbit, the Tashari people stood below, watching the black silhouette rise toward the stars. Many waved, some cried. They were no longer afraid. Elder Paylan stood at the edge of the field, looking up with a heavy heart. "They saved us," he whispered. "But I fear they saved us from something we cannot understand." Final scene of Part 4. Tirev was called to speak before the council. He stood at the center of the chamber, small among the tall delegates and wide screens. "You are not a leader," one ambassador said. "Why did you break protocol?" "Because." "Someone had to," Tirev said. "We forgot who we are. We buried the truth. Earth didn't." "And what do you think they want now?" another delegate asked. Tirev paused. "They want what they always wanted. Peace. But they won't beg for it. They'll guard it. Even if we don't." The screens changed. A new message from Earth had arrived. It was short. "The first war was silent. The second must not begin. Keep your skies clean. We are still watching." The stars over Tasharia 4 shined brighter now. The Earth ship, Vigilant Memory, still floated in orbit like a silent guardian. The rogue council fleet was gone. The hidden Vorx nest was locked and sealed, and the strange sleeper found inside. The underground pod was in stasis, being carried back to Earth. But the galaxy was no longer the same. Something had changed, and everyone knew it. A council divided on the council homeworld. Arguments filled the halls again. Some leaders wanted peace with Earth. They believed the humans had acted with honor, saving the Tashari when the council failed to respond. Others were still angry and afraid. They ignored our rules. They brought weapons. They're hiding more than they tell, but High Speaker Jorvik was firm. "We ignored a cry for help," he said. "They didn't. We acted late. They acted fast. The Vorx could have spread if Earth hadn't arrived." One delegate stood up. "But what if the Vorx came because of Earth?" Silence. That fear had been growing. "What if the Vorx had only returned because the humans had returned?" Jorvik replied calmly. "Then who else but Earth could have stopped them?" Earth's silence ends. For centuries, Earth had sent no ambassadors, no messages, no ships. Now, everything had changed. At the edge of council space, 5 new Earth ships arrived. They were not warships. They were diplomatic vessels, each one marked with the same silver tree symbol seen on vigilant memory. They carried no weapons, only knowledge. A message was sent to the council. We come not as conquerors, but as stewards. The galaxy has forgotten many things. We have not. It is time to remember. It is time to rebuild. Tirev is invited. Young officer Tirev, the Zentari who uncovered the truth, was invited to board one of Earth's ships. His heart pounded as he stepped onto the smooth metal floor. Everything inside was calm, clean, and quiet. The walls glowed softly. There were no guards, no alarms, no noise. He was met by a human named Dr. Ellen Voss, a relative of Commander Lyra. "Welcome, Tirev," she said, with a warm smile. "You're the one who told the truth." "I only showed what I found," he said. "That's enough," she replied. She walked him through long halls filled with holograms, ancient wars, lost planets, peaceful cities, and symbols he didn't understand. "You kept records of everything?" he asked. "We never stopped watching," she said, "even after we left the council." Tirev paused. "Why did you leave?" Dr. Voss looked at him. "Because we became something the council wasn't ready for." Project Gatewatch, inside a secure chamber. Tirev was shown the stasis pod that held the strange silver-skinned being found on Tashari IV. It was still asleep. Dr. Voss explained. "Before we left the council, Earth had a secret program, Project Gatewatch. We knew the Voreks wouldn't stay gone. We didn't destroy them completely. We couldn't. So we built watchers, part human, part machine, to sleep near possible danger zones." "And this being?" Tirev asked. "She's one of them. Unit 17. She was placed near the Voreks site on Tashari IV, long before the council built anything there." "So she woke up when the machines did?" "No," Dr. Voss said quietly. "She sent the signal." Tirev stared. "She called Earth," he said. "Yes," Dr. Voss replied. "Even after centuries of silence, Earth's children remembered their duty. Council apology, in a rare move. The Galactic Council sent a formal message to Earth. It was read across thousands of systems. We regret our failure to answer the call. We accept that Earth acted with honor and skill. We ask for renewed cooperation and a chance to rebuild trust." Earth responded with only 4 words. "We never stopped listening." The new protectorate Earth proposed a new idea. Not war, not control, but a stewardship network. They offered help to worlds near dangerous ruins, unstable zones, and forgotten tech left from past wars. Not to rule, not to own, just to watch, just to protect. Many young species agreed immediately. They wanted Earth's help. They wanted someone who acted fast, not someone who waited for votes. Others hesitated. The old fear of the Deathworlders was still strong. But they couldn't deny the truth. Earth had power. But more than that, Earth had restraint. A final conversation. Commander Lyra Voss returned to council space one last time. She met High Speaker Jorvik in a quiet chamber. "You did what we could not," Jorvik said. "I did what anyone should," she replied. "Why did you really come back, Commander?" Lyra looked at him. "We left because we were becoming something dangerous, too powerful, too unpredictable, but in the silence we listened. We learned. And now? Now we return to remind the galaxy what responsibility looks like." Jorvik nodded slowly. "Perhaps we needed that reminder." Tirev's reflection. Tirev returned to Relay Post 47, the small listening station where it all began. He stood at the same screen, sipping a warm drink, watching the stars. A new signal blinked on the console, not an emergency, just a message. He played it. "To all watchers, to all listeners, Earth has returned, not to rule, but to serve. We are still Deathworlders. But now, we are also something else. We are stewards. Tirev smiled. He whispered to himself. And the galaxy just became a little safer. Final scene. Earth's promise high above the Council Core world, a new kind of satellite was launched. It was built by humans, but with help from over 50 species. Its name, Aegis Beacon 1. Its purpose, to listen for danger, to respond faster than politics, to protect without question, and on its outer hull, a message was engraved in every known language. This time, no cry for help will go unanswered. The camera zoomed out, past the satellite, past the planet, into the stars, where Earth's ships still moved like shadows, quiet, strong, and watching. The Deathworlders had returned, not to conquer, but to keep the galaxy safe.